In the February 25th episode of Days of Our Lives, Chad DiMera, Billy Flynn, and Kat Green brainstormed ways to raise money for a hospital fundraiser. Their conversation led to the idea of a community street fair, a lively event that would bring families together, boost local morale, and support an important cause. But what really got Chad and Kat excited was the possibility of hosting a bachelor auction, where eligible bachelors would be bid on for charity. As the details of this unique fundraiser unfold, speculation is growing that this event could mark a turning point in Chad and Kat's relationship. Could Chad use this as an opportunity to prove his feelings for Kat? And could this auction lead to an even bigger surprise, perhaps a romantic proposal? The Bachelor Auction, a game-changer for Chad and Kat? For months now, fans of Days of Our Lives have watched the growing tension between Chad and Kat. Chad, still haunted by the memory of his late wife, Abigail, has had difficulty allowing himself to fully embrace new love. Meanwhile, Kat has spent her time both earning Chad's trust and subtly showing him that she's ready for more. Despite their obvious chemistry, Chad has remained hesitant, his heart still tangled in the pain of his past. However, the upcoming Bachelor auction might just be the catalyst that forces him to confront his true feelings. Kat takes center stage, and a surprise bidder steps up while Chad and Kat initially discuss the auction as a way to raise money for the hospital. Things take an unexpected turn when Kat herself becomes part of the auction. It's not entirely clear whether Kat volunteers herself or if someone else nominates her, but what is certain is that this moment will take both her and Chad by surprise. As the bidding starts, Kat assumes it's all in good fun, until she realizes that someone is willing to pay a steep price for a night out with her. The question is, who will it be? Jealousy sparks Chad's big decision as the bids come in. Chad watches from the sidelines. Up until now, he has told himself that his feelings for Kat are strictly platonic. But when other men begin placing high bids for her attention, a wave of jealousy starts to creep in. Days fans know that Chad doesn't easily give in to his emotions, but when he sees someone else trying to claim time with Kat, something inside him shifts. Could this be the moment he realizes that he doesn't want to lose her? Will Chad decide to outbid everyone else just to ensure he gets that date with her? A romantic date, or the start of something more? If Chad does step in and win the auction, the real question is, what will he do with this opportunity? It's easy to imagine a scenario where Chad, in a mix of excitement and nervousness, decides to make the night extra special. He could take Kat on a romantic evening, perhaps revisiting places in Salem that hold meaning for him while also making new memories with her. Alternatively, if Chad is truly ready to let go of his past and embrace a future with Kat, could he go one step further and confess his true feelings? And if emotions run high, could that confession lead to an unexpected proposal? Chad's emotional journey, from heartbreak to new love. One of the most compelling aspects of this storyline is Chad's emotional evolution. Fans have watched him struggle with grief, guilt, and uncertainty when it comes to moving on after Abigail's death. While his connection with Kat has grown naturally over time, there has always been a hesitation, a fear of betraying his past love by embracing a new one. But deep down, Chad knows that Kat is not trying to replace Abigail. She is her own person, someone who has shown patience, kindness, and unwavering support. Kat has proven time and time again that she cares for Chad not just as a man, but as a father, a friend, and a person who deserves happiness. The Bachelor auction could be the moment of clarity that Chad needs. If he does place the winning bid, it could be his way of finally admitting that he doesn't just care for Kat, he wants a future with her. What's next for Chad and Kat? If Chad does use this auction as an opportunity to express his love, Days of Our Lives could be setting the stage for a major turning point in their relationship. Would Chad truly consider proposing to Kat on the spot? While it might seem sudden, soap operas thrive on dramatic, heartfelt gestures. A spontaneous proposal at the auction would certainly be one for the books. But if Chad isn't quite ready to take that leap, the night could still mark a new beginning for them. Perhaps it will lead to their first real date, one where Chad is no longer holding back. At the center of this installment were two familiar faces, Kat and Chad, whose lives intertwined in a way that promised both tension and hope. Tasked with saving the struggling local hospital, their collaboration unfolded against the backdrop of the bustling town square, a place as much a character in the story as the people who inhabit it. A sunny day in the square. The scene opened on a bright afternoon, the kind that makes you grateful for the simple pleasures of a warm breeze and a good companion. The town square buzzed with life. Children darted between the flower-lined paths, their laughter mingling with the chatter of neighbors catching up over cups of steaming coffee. Small shops with weathered signs framed the area, their windows displaying everything from handmade quilts to fresh-baked pies. Under the shade of a red and white striped umbrella, Kat and Chad sat at a small wrought iron table, a half-eaten sandwich and a pitcher of iced tea between them. The sun cast dappled light through the trees, softening the edges of what could have been an uncomfortable moment. Kat fidgeted with her napkin, her hazel eyes flickering with unease as she gazed across at Chad. His dark hair caught the sunlight, and his easy smile seemed to carry the weight of a man who'd weathered many storms. Yet, beneath that calm exterior, there was a flicker of something, perhaps caution, perhaps kindness, as he met her gaze. "I'm really sorry you're stuck working with me on this, Chad," Kat said, her voice low but earnest. "I know it's not exactly what you wanted, especially after, well, everything." Chad leaned back in his chair, his hands resting casually on the table. "It's fine, Kat," he replied, his tone steady and reassuring. "We've got a job to do, and I'm not about to let anything get in the way of saving the hospital." She nodded, but the words she'd confessed days earlier, her unexpected feelings for him, hung in the air like a stubborn fog. "It's just awkward for me, admitting how I feel," she admitted, her cheeks flushing slightly. "I don't know how to pretend it didn't happen." Chad's expression softened, and he tilted his head with a gentle understanding that only comes from years of navigating life's complexities. "I get it," he said simply. "But we're grown-ups. We can handle a little awkwardness and still get things done. There's no reason this has to stop us." A plan takes shape with the air cleared, or at least as clear as it could be. They turned their attention to the task at hand, planning a fundraiser to breathe new life into the hospital's dwindling funds. Both were determined to break from the tired traditions of stuffy galas and silent auctions that had grown predictable over the years. They wanted something fresh, something that would rally the entire community and remind everyone why Salem's hospital was worth saving. Kat's face brightened as an idea sparked. "What if we held a family street fair?" she suggested, her voice lifting with excitement. "I remember going to one years ago with Felicity and my family. There were games, cotton candy, and all sorts of little booths. Everyone had such a good time, it brought us all together." Chad's eyes lit up, and he leaned forward, resting his elbows on the table. "That's brilliant," he said. "A street fair could be just the thing. We could set up a dunk tank, imagine getting the nurses and doctors to volunteer. People would love the chance to soak Dr. Johnson or Nurse Linda." Kat laughed, a sound that seemed to ease the tension between them. "Oh, that would be a riot. I can already see the line forming, everyone in Salem would want a turn." The ideas flowed freely now, each one building on the last. Chad tapped his fingers on the table, his mind racing. "You know," he said with a playful grin, "we could even get Marlena to take a shift in the dunk tank. Maybe splash her with some holy water for good measure." Kat blinked, her brow furrowing in confusion. "Holy water? Why would we do that?" Chad chuckled, a deep, rumbling sound that hinted at the strange tales he carried from his years in Salem. "You might not know this, Kat, but Marlena's got a bit of a history. There was a time she was possessed by a demon. Sounds wild, I know, but it's true. It's practically a legend around here." Kat's mouth dropped open, her eyes wide with disbelief. Possessed? By a demon? You're joking, right? Nope, Chad said, shrugging as if it were the most normal thing in the world. Welcome to Salem, Cat. Things here can get a little out of the ordinary. For a moment, she just stared at him, then burst into laughter. Well, that's one way to put it. But maybe we should skip the demon theme. I don't think the kids would appreciate it. Chad grinned, conceding the point. Fair enough. No demons. But what if we dressed her up in a costume anyway? Maybe something fun for the fair? Kat shook her head, still smiling. Let's not push our luck. Marlena's scary enough when she's mad, no need to give her a costume to match. From chaos to clarity, Chad laughed again, but there was a hint of self-awareness in his tone as he said, "You're right. Coming from the DiMera family, I guess my ideas can get a little skewed sometimes. Chaos runs in the blood." Kat tilted her head, studying him. I can think of a few Salem singles who'd jump at the chance, might even cause a bidding war. The thought sent them both into a fit of laughter, the earlier awkwardness dissolving like sugar in tea. They scribbled notes on a napkin, booths with homemade jams and pies, a band playing old favorites, the dunk tank with brave volunteers, and the auction as the grand finale. The street fair was taking shape, a vibrant celebration that would draw the town together under a common cause. A partnership blossoms by the time their plates were cleared and the iced tea pitcher sat empty. Kat and Chad had crafted a plan that felt both ambitious and achievable. The sun had dipped lower in the sky, painting the square in hues of gold and amber, and the air carried the faint scent of blooming jasmine. Chad gathered their notes and looked at Kat with a genuine warmth. You know, I think this is going to work, he said. And I'm glad we're doing it together. Kat returned his smile, a weight lifting from her shoulders. Me too, Chad. It feels good to focus on something positive. As they stood to leave, the square seemed to hum with the promise of what was to come, a day of laughter, connection, and hope for Salem's future. But beneath the surface, questions lingered. Could Kat and Chad truly move past her confession? Would their partnership grow into something more, or would the shadows of their past keep them at arm's length? In the ever-shifting world of Days of Our Lives, one thing is certain, the answers will unfold with all the drama and heart that fans have come to cherish. For now, the stage is set, the plans are drawn, and Salem waits with bated breath for the next chapter in this unfolding tale.